are getting used to the system, so now we're going to switch to the color system for sure. We're going to start with our.
If you've got some cards, you might want to.
I did.
Okay, let's start with the first question for Dennis, since he won the towing costs, and then he'll have a 3-minute comment, and we'll have again a two-minute rebuttal, and then a response of 1 minute, all by our color coding down here. Here we are. This question is, the Environmental Protection Agency has a mandate for the city of Jeffersonville. As the mayor, how will you deal with the mandate? And do you think sewer rates will have to be raised to accommodate and deal with the mandate? Dennis.
We sure hope not. The first thing that I'll tell you is the consent decree is a very complex article. We entered into that because we were putting wastewater into the sewer system, or into the river on overflows. And what we have to do, we have one of two options. We have to go back to the EPA, and we need to negotiate with them and come up with either more time, which will allow some of our debt to fall off. We're $100 million into this project. And we have other projects that need to be done. The other thing that needs to be taken note of, which is not getting much mention at all, is we have a lot of phosphorus, and the EPA is going to make us take all the phosphorus out of our effluent. And it's going to be very expensive. It's going to cost us in the tune of $500,000 a year, which is going to be very, very expensive. The second option is to go in and negotiate with the EPA and come up with a plan to lessen our projects, meaning we wouldn't be able to do all the projects that we have on the table. Now, a few months ago, my opponent came up with he tore the canal plan up, which was fine. He put the interceptor plan back on the table. The problem is we don't have enough money to build the interceptor. There's 3 different articles where the mayor came up and said, let's start building the interceptor. We have the money. On a $45 million project today, we have about $12 to $14 million. We're not going to make it. I'm sure glad we didn't start that project, because we would be a third of the way through it, and I don't know what we would do. But along with that, we have other issues to deal with. We have a lot of flooding in the downtown areas, and with that flooding, we have a lot of citizens that are hurting. The problem is those are combination sewers, the majority of them. So it's not a matter of just increasing the capacity. You have to do the sewer separations. So it becomes a very expensive project. And the sewer separation is going to be a major deal, already is, for the city of Jeff. We just have to be studious of the projects that we have initiated. We need to be able to finish them. And we need to make sure that we have the bonding capacity to fill the obligations that we have. And right now we don't. So we have to go back to the EPA, and we're going to have to do some negotiating.